I live, work my biz. I'm too far from the rest, not what you used to. Okay, this ain't what you used to. Always with the new, this ain't what you used to. I do me, do you? I do me, do you? This ain't what you used to.
Good morning, family. I've got this beautiful strawberry fruit tree, aka it's got a billion names, so I'll put them on the screen. But I took this home from Echo Farm thinking it was a regular old red strawberry tree, but it's actually the yellow strawberry tree. When I got home, when I got to the farm, I looked at the label and I was like, oh shoot, it's the yellow variety, so that's even rarer. So I'm gonna try to air layer this. It's already like growing kind of wildly and I don't really love it and I would want to prune it, but I'm gonna start with this one because it's leaning the lowest to the ground and close to my soursop that I've got over here. So I'm gonna air layer right around here, which will be a pretty good sized tree and a good amount of this branch removed if it takes, so that will be amazing. Here's everything you're gonna need. Got 2 zip ties, a Ziploc bag, a Sharpie. You need a blade, or you can use a grafting knife if you have one, but just a regular razor blade works just fine. Some aluminum foil, organic ground turmeric, and this is Spanish moss that grows on the trees around here that I've already pre-soaked, so it's nice and moist. You can use whatever rooting medium you want, coco coir or whatever, but I use what's free and readily available and it works. Now that I've identified the branch I want to air layer, I'm gonna clear off a lot of the little branches, little leaves, so I can get my air layer, got space for my air layer here. Nobody actually asked for this video. I told y'all when I air layered the guava that if you wanted to see how I do it, drop it in the comments. Nobody said anything. It's quite a quiet community I've got so far. Nobody said anything, but I wish this had existed when I was learning, and so I decided I'm going to create it. So future me, years from now, can find this when she needs it. When she's ready to figure out how to multiply her plants. So, got nice clear space here for where we can put our air layer. And I'm gonna shorten some of these leaves too. You don't want a lot of burden on this branch once I remove the cambium. I prefer air layering to cuttings as a form of propagation when possible. Because with cuttings, you have to get soil, put it in a pot, then you have to water it, make sure it never gets dry. With air layers, it's still attached to the parent tree. And so it can get still its water. I'm not disconnecting that's in the center of the trunk. We're gonna do plant anatomy here. But it can still get nutrients, water, through the center of the trunk, through the stem. But I'm disconnecting the cambium so that the tree sends a signal to the tree saying, oh no, we've been broken from our mother tree. We've been damaged, and if we don't root, we're gonna die. And so it goes into survival mode and it'll shoot out roots in my little Ziploc bag that I'm about to put on here. That's a simplified version, but that's all you need to understand. It is pretty simple, but effective. This also, pruning it also sends a stimulation to grow, but it's pretty well stimulated when I cut this bark, cut the branch. All right, that's nice, I like that. And see, that'll be a really good sized tree. We're gonna put our air layer about right here-ish. All right, we got all our supplies. I like to kind of put everything in a little bucket so when I'm out in the field I can find everything. Got my soaked Spanish moss. I'll stick it in my quart size Ziploc bag. That's just the size I like because I think it wraps around branches easier than smaller or larger. It's not as bulky. So I like the quart size, it works great for me. And you can reuse these bags, these plastic bags. When I take an air layer off, I just refresh the moss and use this bag again. All right, we've got the bag pretty well filled. Now I'm gonna cut a little line here with my blade horizontally across the bag. So that gives an opening. That's where we're gonna wrap around the branch. Closer for you guys to see. So we're gonna wrap this around the branch so the roots will be able to come in here into the moss. And that's that. 10 foil and 2 zip ties, which I like to keep in my pocket handy because once I get it on here, I don't have a lot of time or hands. The area where I would like for my roots to come out is here. I usually do like 2 inches-ish. And so I'm cutting all the way around the branch where the bottom point is, the bottom of where I want to clear the cambium, and the upper part of where I want to clear the cambium. I'm going all the way around. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna use my knife to scrape off the bark layer. And here you can see, okay, so bark, and this white part is what we want to expose. This green part is the cambium, which we want to remove any green, which is the cambium. That lets you know this tree is alive, by the way. We're gonna scrape all that cambium off. So this should be totally white, removed of bark and removed of cambium when we're done. All right, so just scraping all the way down, totally white. I don't want any green left here. Usually when you score around, if you score around in a circle on a tree where the bark is thicker, you can actually just put a vertical line and then just peel it off. But this tree has very thin bark, so it's not gonna come off that easily. I'm gonna have to scrape it. I can't just pull it off. And we gotta get the underside. Almost got it all. And then I just scrape like this to make sure I got all the cambium off. Make sure it's clean, totally white. Scraping, scraping. Cleaning up any of my little cuts. Pretty frayed, but it's clean. Now we're gonna put ground turmeric, organic ground turmeric on it. I use this as my preferred rooting hormone. It's natural, and I buy it in bulk anyway for cooking. And yeah, it works great. It's the best way I found to apply it is just to dump it in my palm and rub it around. Wrap it in my hand and just rub it around. I found it's the easiest way to do that. All right, that's enough. Turmeric's also antibacterial, antimicrobial, blah, 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 so it's great. Now, got our bag with our cut in it. We're going to open the bag onto our bare tree, the bare branch. Got our bare branch wrapped in the open part of the plastic, open part of the Ziploc bag. And I like to just close it around. Wrap that all the way around nice and tight. Get your zip tie. Wrong way. There we go. Just do one at the top and one at the bottom. You don't want it in the center because that's where your roots are gonna come out. All right. Excess. I like to write the date on here with my Sharpie, because I absolutely can guarantee you that I will forget this is here. But that's why I like being able to do air layers, because I can forget about them. I can leave them there and just forget about them, and then one day I'll be like, oh, didn't I put an air layer on that strawberry tree? And I'll just come over here and see if there's roots. Today is October October 8th, 2025. Now we're gonna use some tin foil. This is the cheap stuff that I got from, I don't know, CVS, Walgreens, something. The purpose of this is to keep the sun off of your brand new roots that are gonna come here. Just wrap it around like it's a baked potato. Pinch the top and bottom. And that's it. We've got an air layer. Now we'll pray for this and check back on it probably in spring when I remember it's here. It's not gonna, it'll be fine. You can leave it on here. Obviously if I see that it's struggling in some way, I'll check sooner, but it'll be fine. It's probably not gonna love the winter, but I'm gonna leave it on its parent plant through the winter because it'll stand a better chance of surviving, most likely. So yeah, it'll be months before we check on this again, but it's one tree potentially turned into two with just a few minutes of work and I don't know, $5 worth of equipment, if that. Everything's so much more expensive now, so I can't quote the price, but really cheap. Just give it a shot. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or something wasn't clear. I haven't had lunch yet, so my blood sugar's low. I could have forgotten something, but that's it. It's simple. You guys can do it. The squirrels tend to try to, they like the foil, so they're probably gonna tear all this off soon, but we'll see.